Right, there's a quick walk around video, and this is for a Honda Civic 1.6 Sports Diesel. A lovely looking car, finished in white as you can see, and this one benefits from having the sat-nav option fitted as well. These 2015 cars are really good looking cars, facelift versions, so you get that new, much more aggressively styled front end on the vehicle. But the white with black alloys, the black inserts, works just brilliantly on this car. Just go around the car for you. Front end of the car very clean, lights, lenses completely clear and intact. Only the very lightest stone chipping on the front of the vehicle. You've got to look very hard for them because they are few and far between. Certainly one of the cleanest ones I've seen. So we'll come around to the near side of the vehicle first. Then go down the panels there, but it's pretty much like a mirror on the panels there. Very clean, no indentations at all. Front alloy very good. There is some curbing right on the outside edge, which you can see, but it doesn't sort of stand out or jump out at you at all. But the panel work is incredibly clean. It really is. Around the back of the car, sorry, I tripped over. So it's a really good looking car from this angle. You've got the a little lip spoiler, but you've got the kind of smoked glass rear diffuser down low there on these versions as well. Colour coded parking sensors, but the back end of the car, as with the side there, very clean indeed. Come around to the off side of the vehicle, as with the near side, just beautifully clean in the panel work. I always caution, obviously, with doing these videos, I try and pick up on the most obvious marks I can see, but there will be marks I've missed, so please do bear that in mind. We positively encourage people to come see the cars prior to purchase. But the purpose of the video is just to sort of pick up on anything major on the car I can clearly see. But this is a really good looking car in very nice condition. Coming to the boot area. They are absolutely massive boots on these Civics. They really are very nicely finished off, of course. I see 60/40 fold in the rear seats there. You also have this really clever dual level floor, so you can either use it as a cubby hole, so put things underneath there, give it a pull back, drop it down, and you've got another sort of 7 or 8 inches of boot depth there. It's just such a clever and simple design. Coming into the back of the car now, you can see this is with the seats in their raised positions, forms part of this ingenious magic rear seat design from Honda. You can do it individually, side to side, if you really want to, but obviously it clears up a huge amount of rear space. Beautifully engineered, just literally pull the lever up, drop it down, and it just clicks into place. And then with the seats folded down, see the rear seats are in absolutely beautiful condition. A huge amount of rear leg room is offered on the vehicle, and that's if the front seats quite far back actually. Coming to the front, driver's door card, or passenger door card rather, looks almost as new in all honesty. All the little recesses have been kept very clean and tidy. There is a full set of original Honda mats fitted to this vehicle, and again all in very good condition. Front passenger seat there, been given hardly any use. It looks pretty much as new. Front passenger door card, sorry, front driver's door card, get them right in a minute. But again, all the recesses, all around the switches have been kept very nicely. Footwell area again, very clean and tidy. And driver's seat again in excellent condition. So sat inside the car now. I just parked in the shade because it's quite glary with the sun. Engine's running through this section of the video just to show the dashboard illuminated. As you can see there, sat nav working absolutely perfectly. The interior of the car is in beautiful condition. It looks pretty much as new here. All the things you worry about wear on have no wear at all that I can see. As I said, even the little recess has been kept just so wonderfully clean. Come around the dashboard and over the top. If I can just pan it off, scouting the wire. Hopefully you can see that 62,741 miles now recorded. And then if I bring the camera back, that's the view you get when you're sitting in these cars, and that's pretty much the angle you want to be at. So the steering wheel rim is between the rev counter and the speedo there, but that is a fantastic view, and in my opinion it's unmatched by any car in this class. I think it's just a wonderful, wonderful dashboard this, and they are fantastically well made. Just to quickly show you, owner's manual pack including the car manual and navigation manual are here and present with the car, as is very importantly the lock and wheel nut key for the vehicle. What will follow this video will be a road test of this very car. Right then, this is a road test video, and this is for a Honda Civic 1.6 diesel sport. This particular car is registered, if I can read it, BJ15OUV, and mileage at the start of the road test is 62,734 miles. Reason for doing the road test is very simple. We just want customers of ours to actually see the cars we're selling in operation, and it's the very car in the advert. Lots of our customers are now coming from literally all over the UK and mainland Europe, so the least we can do is actually go to the effort of doing this, showing you the car, and the point is just to pick up on any issues that might be on the vehicle so you can know about them before you set off, and you can make a decision as to whether that's worthwhile or not based on that. Also done on the country roads very close to our premises. Worth pointing out, this is about as busy as it gets around here. This is rush hour traffic. It's 8:45 in the morning, but it's always quiet around here, nearly always anyway. Coming to the car itself, I mean they're fabulous cars, but I'll go through the main parts of the car sort of one by one for you, starting with the engine. Engine clearly starts first turn of the key, settles to completely smooth and even idle, pulls absolutely beautifully. It's a brilliant unit. They're flexible, they've got plenty of power, but the economy is absolutely astonishing. On top of which, they've got a reputation for reliability and longevity which is completely unmatched in its class. But it's a nice unit to use day in and day out as well, so it's not as if it's just a worthy unit without any merit. It really is a very, very good engine. No warning lights on the dashboard relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Temperature gauge running into third, and it's up to full operating temperature now. It's been running for about half an hour or so, and that's exactly the right temperature that the car should be at in normal driving, whether it be a diesel or petrol. Doesn't make any difference on the Hondas. So engine's absolutely spot on. Clutch on the car, smooth, positive and actuation. Bike point is exactly where it should be on the car. When the clutch pedals in or out, there's no vibrations or otherwise on the vehicle. Clutch then feeds through into the Honda 6-speed gearbox, which is another absolutely brilliant gearbox. I can't find anywhere in this gear change at all. It's astonishing. It just feels like it's brand new, as does pretty much the whole car in terms of the way it drives. But the gear change itself is, Honda don't just throw gearboxes into cars. They put some thought into how they operate, how they feel in your hand. Because most gearboxes, as with this one, will just be the gear lever here, and then you've got actually cables running from here to the gearbox underneath. And unfortunately on some cars that means you end up with a kind of a lifeless, vague gear change. Honda, this feels as though it's going straight down into gearbox below. It's got that lovely quality of actuation. Gear changes are slick. You can't get lost in the gearbox at all, and the springing between the gears, like second to third now, it just finds its way home just so nicely. It's all fingertip stuff on the Hondas, but it feels mechanical. It's a wonderful, wonderful gear change. So in terms of the main powertrain of the vehicle, all absolutely spot on. Steering of the car tracks bullet straight. There's no vibrations. I'm now going at the legal limits, or I am now. and there's, you know, I've driven at motorway speeds and there's nothing at all. It's a bit of a pet hate of mine, but it's, the quality of the steering is really good. It's very nicely weighted, very precise, very quick to change direction, but without being over sensitive, making the car nervous. And it works brilliantly with the chassis of the vehicle, which is a fantastic chassis as well. In the past, these Civics, the previous generation, were applauded for having a very sharp, very direct, very agile chassis, but at the expense, in some people's opinion, not mine necessarily, that the ride was too hard. Well, this completely addresses it, because the ride's absolutely brilliant, even in a sport car. Or sport model rather. It soaks up pretty much all but the very worst road imperfections. It takes a fairly sort of sizable pothole to unsettle the car, but the car's got poise, it's got balance, body control in the corners is fantastic. There's kind of very little lurching, and it's a car you can just swan along in and be very comfortable, or for the more enthusiastic driver, it really rewards. It's a brilliant chassis. And the chassis and the steering exhibit absolutely no wear. There's no slack in it, there's no noises, there's no creaks or groans from underneath the car. It's all absolutely fantastic. Brake pedal on the car, really solid brake pedal. I did notice it looks like it's had very recent front pads and discs, because they're in fantastic condition. They look almost as new, and the rears are very good as well, so it comes as no surprise to find the brakes are good. No pulsing, no vibrations, pulls straight and true when you hit the brake pedal as well. Looking around inside the car, I love the interiors of these cars. I think they're absolutely fantastic. They are literally brilliantly made as well. Nice soft touch plastics in the majority of the surfaces, but the build, as I say, is astonishing. But what I love is this dash in front of me. It's just such an interesting place to sit and drive a car. But what's clever is, with this two-tier design, the main information you want, your speed up above, and information display, is all higher up on the dash there. So I can look at the car in front directly now, and whilst keeping an eye on my speed at the corner of my eye without having to take my eyes off the road for a second. It's just genius. The centre part is, I guess, more conventional, in the sense that you've got this sort of centre stack here with the sat nav system, which works absolutely perfectly. Then you've got a very high quality control, high quality controls for the climate control system, which is dual zones. You can do side to side at different temperatures as well, but all working perfectly. Air conditioning's absolutely ice cold in the car, and it's already quite warm outside. It's 18 degrees. It's going to be a blistering day today. And then underneath the speedo here, you've got a more conventional pod of 3 dials, rev counter, flanked by fuel gauge and temperature gauge. Everything in the car is working absolutely perfectly. As I said at the start of the video, the point of these videos is to show the car in operation, but also to pick up on any issues, no matter how small they may be. There's nothing on this. It drives absolutely perfectly, and I'm not giving it any allowance for age or mileage at all. Judged by a new car, it drives exactly the same. It just drives wonderfully well. As always, however, if I've missed something on the video, then please don't hesitate. Do give us a call, and I'll happily answer any questions you might have about the car. Just a quick aside to that, we're an old-fashioned company. Both myself and Tony used to work for the Honda dealership in Bristol, so we love our Hondas. We do prefer to be called, if you can, do phone us, because we like to talk about the cars. It's more personal. We're pretty rubbish at writing emails. It doesn't come across well from us, unfortunately. But if you need to email, of course, please do.